Exactly.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, then, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward. Aye. Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye. I will move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward. Aye. Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Ordinance 9-24.
Item C will be an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor, Director of Public Service, to enter into a consent agreement with the Ohio Department of Transportation to resurface a portion of State Route 96 located within the city of Ashland, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Move for non-reading in full.
Second.
Thank you.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
So this is kind of self-explanatory, but basically what this is giving ODOT permission to go ahead and complete the resurfacing of State Route 96 on the edge of the corporate limits to the Richland County line. Now, if you recall, earlier I shared that we are expecting this year to have Sandusky Street, which also doubles as State Route 96 through our city, resurfaced. This is the second part of that project, but this is the section that, believe it or not, if we were to travel out State Route 96 right now and go to the corporate limits, Sandusky Street is a city street to a certain point, very near where we would probably recognize as the city limits, but then for a little while farther, only half of State Route 96, one side is in the corporate limits. So we will be resurfacing this year all of it that's in the city limits, but that one lane that is closest to the county line, both sides of the street, or in this case, State Route 96, are not in the city limits of Ashland. So for that small section, ODOT's still gonna replace it at no expense to us, but we're basically saying we agree to cooperate. And I would say the most important part of this ordinance is in section 3, number 2. No funds are required from the city except that the city agrees to assume and bear 100% of the total cost for any added construction items that we would request during the process. We have no intention of requesting any additions to the project.
All right.
And that's why up here in the summary paragraph, if you'll see, most of what's described there is nowhere near the city limit. Do you see the 603 and all that sort of thing?
39.
So this is a separate project from what we're expecting this construction season, and that is the resurfacing of Sandusky Street in the city limits.
All right. Any discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
So moved. Second.
Thank you.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
I'll move again to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Motion to approve the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Ordinance 10-24.
All right, we have a couple additional ordinances to read in full due to the late arrival in addition to the agenda. First one will be an ordinance authorizing the Director of Finance to transfer funds from the Transit Fund 244 to the Transit Reserve Fund 272. Transfer will be for $44,538.85 and declaring an emergency. Whereas the City of Ashland Council has authorized the creation of the Transit Reserve as directed by the Ohio Department of Transportation, and whereas this council desires to transfer said funds to the Transit Reserve Fund as directed by the Ohio Department of Transportation, and whereas this council authorizes the Director of Finance to transfer funds from the Transit Fund 244 to the Transit Reserve Fund 272 in the amount of $44,538.85, Now therefore, be it ordained by the council of the city of Ashland, state of Ohio, its members, thereto concurring, Section 1, the following transfer of funds for the calendar year 2024 for the city of Ashland as directed by the Ohio Department of Transportation, transferring $44,538.85 from Fund 244, Transit Fund 244-8901-58301, transfers out, to Fund 272, Transit Reserve Fund 272-0014-400902, transfer in. Section 2, to meet the city of Ashland, Ohio's immediate financial needs, this ordinance is declared to be an emergency measure immediately necessary for preserving the public peace, property, health, and welfare of said city of Ashland, Ohio. And Section 3, that this ordinance shall take effect and be in force from and after its passage by council and approval according to Section 12 of the Charter of the City of Ashland, Ohio. So ends the reading. Is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
I will move to, Larry, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
First of all, thank
No,
you for reading
sure.
that. I did volunteer to read that on behalf of Mr.
There's a lot of
Workman.
F's in that
There is.
ordinance,
Thank-
and I'm glad I made it through.
You did an excellent job. Thank you. Some time ago, the Transit Fund had worked, it is funded somewhat by the Ohio Department of Transportation. They have a transit division that they work very well under the direction of that division. And one of the recommendations of the Department of Transportation was that our transit division create a transit reserve fund. Now, this money does not come from any grant. It comes solely from their contract revenue. They are employed to transport folks that may belong to an organization. They may transport school children, different things. But a portion of that monies can be allocated and deposited into this transit reserve fund. The transit reserve fund can be used to purchase vehicles or materials or equipment for the transit division and not have to go through or to be in conjunction or cooperation with their other grant funding. It's more of a discretionary thing. They can't buy anything unless the Ohio Department of Transportation approves that purchase. So it's not like they have an open checkbook to just go out and buy something. So there is checks and balances and controls on the fund. But in doing that, they can take, I believe, up to 40% of their overall budget and deposit it into this transit reserve fund. This was established years ago, and we then completed it with the creation of the fund. Most recently, you folks were gracious enough to do that. Now we are trying to transfer this money over into that fund. The unfortunate thing is, because it is a special revenue fund and we are moving money to another special revenue fund, I also have to seek approval from the Treasurer of State's office. So in doing that, that's why it ended up on this meeting, so that we could get that in progress. Okay?
Any questions?
There's no level of money that can be transferred without state approval. This is under,
Unfortunately, no. Because of the makeup of the fund, it's a special revenue fund, so it does require that. Now, once going forward, as their contract revenue comes in, they can allocate that without it going into the transit fund. It will just come in under their contract deposit and be deposited into this fund in the future. But unfortunately, to back up, we have to take that extra step.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Oh, excuse me. We already did that. I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you. Jason?
Dawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Motion to approve the
Move
ordinance?
to approve.
Second.
Thank you.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Ordinance 11-24.
You gonna say something?
I could introduce this next one before you read it, and it'll make more sense to
If
anyone
you'd like,
listening.
certainly.
Maybe so.
Feel free, Mayor.
It's rare, but
Mhm.
I just asked the council president if I could make a few comments before this next ordinance, just because then as he reads it, those folks that are watching at home or listening in the audience, it might make more sense. By now, I think that it was already publicized that on February 9th, one of our transit vehicles was in an accident at the intersection of 511 and 30. We were very fortunate that no one's life was lost. We did have passengers. One was, their ankle was injured, and another, I believe, had some serious bruising, but they're all well now. The driver also is well. He was, of course, taken to the hospital, our transit driver, but he's back to work already, actually came back today. So we're very fortunate that it turned out like it did. However, the vehicle was totaled in that collision. And so, since then, our staff in transit, Liz McClurg, and our finance director have been busy tracking down a vehicle to replace that unit. That was our 13-passenger vehicle that we used to transport, as you mentioned, students from the Ashland County Community Academy to Loudonville and other places. So it is used on a daily basis. So with that in mind, that is why this ordinance is before you as an emergency measure.
All right.
So now maybe it'll make more sense when people hear it.
Yeah. Thank you, Mayor. And with that, I'll begin the reading of this ordinance. This will be an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into a contract for the purchase of equipment for the Public Transit Division of the City of Ashland, Ohio, obviating formal advertising and bidding, and declaring an emergency. Whereas this council deems it necessary and advisable to immediately purchase replacement equipment for the Public Transit Division of the City of Ashland, Ohio, and whereas this ordinance is hereby declared to be an emergency measure immediately necessary for the preservation of the public transit, and for the further reason that the equipment herein specified is immediately needed in order to provide for the continued efficient and effective operation of the Public Transit Division of said City of Ashland, Ohio. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the City of Ashland, State of Ohio, its members thereto concurring, Section 1, that the mayor be and he is hereby authorized and directed to enter into a contract to purchase the following equipment for the Public Transit Division of the City of Ashland, Ohio, obviating formal advertising and bidding due to the purchase being a replacement for Unit SV 064, which was totaled in an accident. This will be one 2019 Ford E450 Turtle Top Terra Transit. The price not to exceed $88,900 and is reimbursable by the Ohio Transit Risk Pool. Section 2, that the money for said equipment be paid from account 244-8901-55009. Section 3, that for reason that the equipment herein specified is immediately needed in order to provide for the continued efficient and effective operation of the Public Transit Division of the City of Ashland, this ordinance is hereby declared to be an emergency measure immediately needed for the preservation of the public transit service of said City of Ashland, Ohio. And Section 4, that this ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage by council approval pursuant to Section 12 of the Charter of the City of Ashland, Ohio. So ends the reading. With that, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Let's see. We need a motion to approve on the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward.
Larry, did you have anything to add?
you'd like?
This is a 2019, it only has 18,000 miles on it. It is a leased vehicle. The lease had expired and the vehicle was turned back in. If we were to buy this new, it would be over $120,000. And it would have a lead time of at least 16 months before delivery. So we were very fortunate to
Absolutely.
find this vehicle just at the right time as it was being turned back in, so.
And it's a 13-seater also,
Yes.
Yes,
so.
same vehicle,
When do we expect to have it?
just as soon as we can complete everything.
Larry's going to drive it back.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, I
get
might,
it tomorrow.
I'll have to get my sleeping bag and sleep in it or something, maybe.
And how many miles did you say?
18,000 miles on it.
Very nice.
Was
Just
this,
broke in.
in.
was this one that had the wheelchair lift?
Yes,
And so this one will have a
this
wheelchair?
one will have the same features.
Okay.
And
And
we
is
have
this
actually
an
worked
insurance
with-
payoff then?
So-
Yes.
Okay. Does it have any identifications on it, or do we have to add that for
We would have to
Our
add our
city-
own branding.
brand? Yeah.
Yeah.
Spray paint.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it weekend.
All right. With that then, if there is no further discussion, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
So moved.
Second,
Thank you.
You did that already?
Oh, I'm sorry.
nope.
Forgive me.
D.
Move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you,
Workman.
Jason. Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
And is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second?
Thank you.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Ordinance 12-24.
Thank you for that.
Well, thanks whoever dug that one up.
They Liz looked all over. And this is a vendor that we've used before in Oregon, Ohio, so I think there's a comfort level with them.
Definitely. No, kudos.
All right. There are no resolutions this evening, no public hearing items, no old business or new business unless council has something for the good of the group. Hearing none, then we'll move to finance director's report.
First of all, thank you for reading those ordinances and
Certainly.
adopting them this evening on such short notice. We do sincerely appreciate that because it keeps our office moving forward on some of those items. The only-
Never a problem.
Well, I certainly do appreciate that very much. Don't like doing that, but it happens sometimes, unfortunately. The only report I have is that we're working through the 2023 audit with the State Auditor's Office and Ray and Associates. We're about maybe a third of the way through some of that at this point, and that started almost immediately after we passed the appropriations. Why, there it was kind of looking at us, but things are moving along pretty well that way. Tax season is coming, and we're trying to, we have a online filing service. If you go to Ashland Tax, you will be able to file your local taxes online this year and pay them, which is kind of new for me. It's a little nerve-wracking, but that's okay. I'll get over the anxiety of that. But anyways, having the ability to file online and pay your taxes online is a big step forward for the tax office. We have a tremendous amount of people who are emailing us with information. They want to get the forms or how to get to the forms online and so forth. But if they reach out to us, we'll still be able to help them. If you need help, please bring your W-2s. We can still do that, and we do not charge you for that service. So Other than that, that's all I really have for you this evening, but thank you.
We used to put forms at the public library. Do we still do that, Larry?
That's a very good question. I don't have a very good answer right now. I'm
Okay.
sorry, but
Just curious.
we used to, yes. And I think because the paper 1040s and things have went away to a certain extent, possibly. You used to have them at the post office as well. But I'll check into that and get an answer to
Just a
you.
thought.
Okay.
All right. Council comments. Mr. Kyle?
I believe it was last week. Last week, we had the honor of being able to attend the Main Street Ashland Awards banquet, and it was a lot of fun to see, because there were some new businesses that were winning awards, and just how vibrant Main Street is, and how people really appreciate it. So that was fun. That was fun, so.
Mr. Miller?
Talking about the transit, I don't think a lot of people are aware that they're not just available for transport around Ashland. They have a 60-mile radius, so that's Columbus or Cleveland. So people could take advantage of that, especially with the Cleveland Guardians this year, and nice way to travel up and not have to drive your own vehicle up. And so take advantage of it, and I think they're still looking for drivers. But the only other thing, again, on the transit, if you'd address in your mayor's comments about the update on the facility for the transit.
And actually, I'll update you right now. Yesterday, we got word from the ODOT consultant that's working with the city on our application. So basically, ODOT has provided us with a consultant who is walking our project through the federal funding system. And we just got word yesterday that we are the next in the queue to advance to the next step. That does not mean ours is going to be awarded, but that's moving in the right direction. So within 2 weeks, they expect to take our case then to the feds for funding. And the reason why it has taken so long is evidently the state is only allowed to approach one project at a time. So Knox County and one other county were before us, but now we were number 3, and now it's our turn. So Knox County's process is complete, and they're take up our case now, so.
Just curious, did they get theirs?
I believe so,
Good.
yes. So,
All right. Angela?
I have had some phone calls about spring cleanup,
Yes.
finding the map.
the website
Well,
and
yes.
Facebook.
So the most clear map is on the website, and if you go to the website, you go under departments, you go to the sanitation tab. At the bottom, it says maps, it brings it up, you can expand it, it's very clear to read. So that's the best.
And that would be easier than Facebook, I'm
Yeah,
sure,
the
yes.
Facebook one's a little grainy, it's kind of hard to see.
Absolutely.
so-
And April 1st is when it begins,
Yep,
so.
that's it.
All right, it's no secret the weather's been getting nice, and I have literally seen children playing in the street because the yards are wet and soggy and muddy and things like that. So just be aware of that, give them a break, literally. Use your right foot, it's the pedal in the middle, press down. Watch out for our children. But I do have a question about the city transit. I have been told that they're going to be out and about making extra runs for the solar eclipse on April 8th. Is that a rumor, or is there any truth to that?
I don't think that has been confirmed, and I'm not sure where we would be taking people.
Exactly. that's what
So
I
I have not heard that yet. I'm not going to say that that's not going to happen, but I have not heard that yet.
Yeah, and again, it was just a rumor, but because there were so many people from out of town that might be here and things like that, that they might be running some extra shuttles back and forth from the hotels to the viewing areas. But
I know in some of the planning meetings with the Emergency Management Agency, Ashland County EMA, topics like that have come up, but I think I've only missed one, and I haven't heard anything confirmed at this point.
Great,
that-
okay.
That we'll be in that role, but we might be, so stay tuned.
all right, yeah.
But
I just wanted to
Yes.
confirm if it was a rumor, or if there was any
Yes.
possibility.
I'm
so.
trying to rack my brain right now. I know that the Ashland County Fairgrounds is offering folks the opportunity to camp at the fairgrounds during that weekend. And I'm not sure if maybe that's the context of that discussion, that people could be moved back and forth from the fairgrounds to downtown. but I don't believe anything has been solidified at this point. So,
All right.
I'll be honest with you, I don't think a lot of our plans for the solar eclipse weekend have been solidified. The only one that I know for certain is that the Ashland County Park District is going to certainly open up Freer Field for anyone who wishes to come out and gather together and watch the eclipse from that location. The thought being, there's plenty of parking. They'll make sure they bring in additional public restrooms, and there's a lot of space for people to spread out without any obstructions on the horizon, just to be able to fully experience the eclipse. So I know that that is in fact the case, that that is going to happen. I know that the Ashland Main Street organization is working on putting together activities for the weekend, such as concerts at Foundation Plaza, but I'm not sure that any of those bands have yet to been confirmed. So I can't announce the names because I'm not sure if they've been confirmed.
I
But
do
that
know
is the plan.
the chamber has boxes
Yes, yes.
for sale, and
Yes.
thank you to the generosity of the Samaritan Hospital. They've got like 50,000 viewing glasses or
Yes.
something. There's a huge stack
Yes.
of viewing glasses that Samaritan Foundation, I think it was,
Yes,
was
maybe so.
generous enough to donate those.
Okay, good.
Great. That, I'll hand it over to you, Mayor.
Well, first off, thank you for bringing up spring cleaning. It is that season, so April 1st is when that will take off. The sanitation crews will be ready to come to your curb, so make sure you take a look at the map. Number two, if you didn't notice, the elevator renovation project is now complete. So if you don't take the elevator on a regular basis, you might want to take it tonight, because you'll see we've got nifty new lights, we've got new panels, new walls, new floor. We've also got a elevator that is modernized and now speaks to you audibly to tell you what floor you're on. And of course, that's very much needed for some folks that would not be able to see. So it's not an all-new elevator, but it's a modern elevator now. So we're glad that that's
Does it
complete.
play elevator music?
No, but I wanted it to.
I'm sure you
I
did.
actually talked to the workers every day and I said, does anyone ever play elevator music anymore? And they said, it's very rare. They said every now and then someone will have those, but they don't,
Okay,
most places don't have it anymore. I did want it.
yeah.
3 floors of elevator music.
I did. For those 30 seconds you're in there, you could have enjoyed some peaceful music, smooth jazz, what you listen to in the car. All right. This next item is more or less a heads up for you, council members, but also for anyone that's watching at home. We're all aware back in 2017 of the Flint, Michigan situation with the quality of their water being compromised. Out of that, a lot of changes and rules were put into effect for public water systems. And one of those was that the EPA would require that every community do a survey of the homes in your community to see what materials were used in the construction of your service line from the street to your water meter. Now, our water department does not believe that we have any lead lines in our city, but you never know, because we've got 9,000 places here, businesses and homes. However, we are required to survey all of our home and business owners, asking them to fill out a simple postcard. I've blown it up, but it's a simple postcard that will soon come out in your water bill. And basically, it will give you some very clear instructions on how to determine if the line coming into your water meter is lead, copper, galvanized steel, or plastic. What we're looking for is to see if we have any homes that have a lead service line. Now, if your line would happen to be a lead service line, it actually is the individual homeowner and business owner's responsibility to change that or modify that if they so desire. But we are required to survey our property owners to gather the data on what are the state of the lines in our homes. Again, I don't believe this is anything anyone needs to panic about, because we believe that we have minimal. Folks that have been with our system for years and decades actually say that they have, in all the years they've dug up lines, never once have they seen one here in their careers, but we still need to survey everyone to find out. Some communities are doing online surveys, others are doing video surveys, there's all sorts of things, methods, but the bottom line is the EPA is requiring that we survey our residents to determine whether or not their line is lead. This will tell you what you need to do to figure out what material your line is made of. And if you will fill out the postcard, all you do is basically check the box, give us your address, and mail it back in. And I believe it's even gonna have self-addressed or postage, already have postage on it. Now, if you find that you just don't know, then you can call our department and we'll come out and take a look at it for you. But I just wanted everyone to have a heads up, so if you receive this in your water bill this month, which it may happen this month, that's what it's about.
Is there an approximate year in which we know that they stopped using lead pipes?
No.
So if any homes constructed after that date, we can be
Exactly,
safe?
no. And we discussed that, whether or not that was, if we could kind of guesstimate, if you will, but it is, there's no way you could guarantee that they stopped in that year, if we did give a year. So, but it's long ago,
Yeah.
long ago. Long ago is the numbers, dates that I've been given, so more than a generation's, probably 2 or 3 generations ago, yeah. So, again, if you struggle and you can't figure out what kind of line you have, feel free to call the department and they'll come take a look for you. We just have to provide the data to the EPA that we did a survey, so,
Very good. Anything else, ma'am?
and that will be it. Other than St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day, Saturday, March 16th, the day before St. Patrick's Day, our parade will take place at 11 a.m. Starting at Foundation Plaza, we'll march down Main Street to Corner Park, where we'll turn the corner, and then together we'll dye the Town Creek green. And we are encouraging everyone to put on your favorite green outfits and join us. The greener, the better. And of course, we do hope to welcome back our kilt brigade. And this year, we want to invite anyone who wants to join us, because what I've learned over the last couple of St. Patrick's Day parades is there is a number of folks that already have their own kilts. And maybe they have kilts that are a plaid that represent a family heritage. So if someone has a kilt and you want to join us, by all means, you are welcome to join us. As Dennis Miller, once again, leads us down the street in his kilt. He was pressured into it last year. I don't know if we'll be able to get him back this year.
All right. With that, then, we'll move to comments and questions from our audience. If there's anyone who would like to address council, feel free to do so at this time. All right. Seeing no takers, we'll move to adjourn. Is there a motion?
Second.
Thank you.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
If you